J-Novel Co-op licenses 5 manga, 5 light novel series, Tearmoon Empire, Oversummoned, Overpowered, and Over It, Rebuild World more. J-Novel Club announced during its panel on Anime Boston on Saturday that it has licensed the following manga and light novel series. All manga will have their first chapters available on Saturday. The first two parts of the first volume of the all light novels will be available as well. Now, I'm a demon lord, happily ever after, with monster girls in my dungeon, like Nova by Ryu Yu and the Boryu. Yuki finds himself reincarnated as a demon lord in another world, and he's been put in charge of the dungeon to boot. Once Yuki accepts that his fate hinges on the dungeon survival in a world where powerful monsters roam free and danger lurks at every corner, he begins gathering allies and bolstering his defenses. Within a few days, he takes on a legendary dragon, an adorable pet slime, and a vampire girl. But despite all his precautions, life as a demon lord and the dungeon constantly under threat is surprisingly mellow. Of course, with such a colorful cast of characters and possibly more the way, Yuki's bound to whip up in some trouble. Will be able to pull off a reckless rescue mission, and how will he and his monster girls survive an invasion by a hostile human kingdom? Joining us as he juggles daily life, responsibilities as a freshly minted demon lord, and his growing family of monster girls and pets. Tearmoon Empire Manga by Misu Morino, Nozomu Mochizuki, and Gilsey. The Tearmoon Empire has fallen as the flames of revolution scored the land. The Empire's even selfish princess, Mia, is probably executed by way of the guillotine, only to wake up in the past as her 12-year-old self. The Empire's back, the revolution is a distant memory, and sweet are once again in the table. As a blood-stained diary she brought back with her probes. However, Mia's memories of the future are by no means just a bad dream. All the horrors, indignities she experienced that terrible timeline are bound to happen all over again. That is, unless she can shape herself up, recruit some allies, and exploit her knowledge of what's to come to solve all of the Empire's problems before they spiral horribly, a little out of control. Is Mia up to the lovely task of changing the future and saving her empire? Not even slightly, but is her only choice if she hopes to spare herself from a second gruesome end at the blade of the guillotine. Oversummoned, Overpowered, and Overed light novel and manga by Mokojima, Kamome, Saitosa, Sokotoku, and Sokotoku. Name's Inori Takafuji. I'm not really much of a go-getter. If you catch my drift, sleep's more my style. But getting summoned to another world kinda messed things up. Bit hard to chill, and you got a king in your face telling you there's a bad guy you gotta go slay or whatever. You know, plot twist, John. It's actually not so bad. Getting the hero treatment sounds pretty nice, right? But then it happens again. Some other clown summons me. I get my obligatory superpower and off I go. And sure, it's fine. It happens sometimes you get isekai to the wrong place. But then it happens again. Someone else summons me. And I get another superpower and then I'm somewhere totally new. Repeat and ad nauseam. Alright, goddess. Where to next? And let me just say this. The next time I get summoned better be my last. Because I am so over this. The Skull Dragon's Precious Daughter manga by Ichi Yukishiro. In the forest of scraps, a place where all manner of things are discarded, an old dragon sleeps away in his final days, that is, until the abandoned child suddenly appears before him. The tiny human is Eve, and despite being only 5 years of age, she has somehow endured the many dangers that surround them. In an act of pity, the dragon decides to raise her as his own, but his time is still running out. After 5 years together, he takes his last breath, leaving his precious daughter on her own. Little does the dragon know, Eve is capable of more than he realizes that the reunion may be sooner than he thinks. Hoping to improve Eve's control over her magical abilities before his resurrected body gives out, the Skull Dragon sets out on an adventure with his reckless human daughter, but we know what kind of trouble awaits them. Did I seriously just get reincarnated as my gang character light novel and manga by Komoragi Amane, Kanade Otanashi, and Asataro? Toru Aikawa is a university student who spends his days during the motions of attending school and working at a local convenience store. The only thing he really feels alive is when he's playing the massive multiplayer video game real world online. One day, he has a stroke of luck, is hit by a runaway bus and reincarnated as his game character, but something's gone wrong. Instead of the invisible warrior he remains. He's in the body of Nash Katen, the alluring dragon princess and made as a joke. Nash build is anything but optimized. She will never survive in the cutthroat world of an isekai story, and more to the point, she's a girl. But Perhaps things aren't as bad as it seems, as Notch Titan is more capable than she appears. The Wind That Reaches the Ends of the World manga by Tsukasa Hazumi. A pair of mysterious and astral travelers ride their spriverns to all corners of this fantasy world by order of the Sanctum, an international peacekeeping agency, round July across many nations to edit the pamphlet, a collection of original myths and stories. Incredible discoveries await them at every destination, along with clues that may lead them toward the answer to their truth quest. Dive into the sprawling, high fantasy adventure full of striking locations, mesmerizing creatures, and intriguing local legends. Rebuild World Light Novel by Nahose with illustrations by Jin, Yish, and Cell. The pinnacle of human civilization has come and gone, leaving on the ruins in its wake. Society and science now struggle to rebuild, rediscovering scraps of knowledge for the powerful ancient artifacts that defy comprehension. These relics of the old world can make the fortunes of those who find them. If ancient security systems and ruled by weapons don't kill the Relic Hunters first. Akira, a young street orphan, set out to become one such hunter to escape his brutal life in the slums. Untrained, malnourished, and poorly armed, Akira will be lucky to make it back from the ruins alive, until an encounter with Alpha, a mysterious, ghostly woman, changes his fate forever. Alpha needs a hunter and she's willing to train Akira to get one. Will her support be enough to help a penniless kid from the slums climb to the top of the crushing and merciless world? Isekai Tensei, recruited to another world light novel by Kenichi and Nem. After waking up to his own funeral, Tenma Hotori gets a second chance at life when the god from another world presents him with an enticing offer. If Tenma agrees to be reincarnated in order to save their dying world, the gods will bestow cheat abilities upon him. Tenma accepts and is reborn in a lush fantasy world filled with demi-humans, magic spells and items, monsters, mysterious forests, and more. As he grows more of his god's given powers and abilities, including his unique power to befriend adorable monsters like slimes and baby wolves, are revealed to his adoptive parents, two former master adventurers, and his grandfather, a famous wizard. But one fateful day, three mysterious strangers shatter the tranquility of Tenma's village by trying to kidnap him. And that's where Tenma's adventure really begins.